Hasib and Zion. Lads,
How's it
how are
going?
we?
Good.
How is
I
everyone?
thought I wasn't going to make a blunder, to begin with, but then
Stand
straight
easy.
away.
Nah,
But
it's
we
good,
also
it's
got a
good.
new guest.
Yeah.
If you'd just like to introduce yourself, mate.
My name's Subhan.
What's your favourite sports, bro?
I like football and cricket. Mostly them two, really. Nothing else.
So again, like another...
Typical.
Yeah, like another
Quite
common
typical.
sport. Yeah, like another common sport with all of us here being football. Basically, the topic that we all spoke about earlier that we kind of wanted to bring to the table again was about transfers. Now, we know in football, probably the most exciting thing about football before the season starts and while the season carries on is transfers. About which player is going to be going to which team, which player is going to be leaving which team, especially in the Premier League, we know. And obviously other top European clubs as well. We obviously know in it, that, you know what, it's always exciting to know which team is going to be yellow, which team is going to buy which player. So Zian, obviously you being a Manchester United fan, your team's always active in the transfer market, always, like you're always
we
like
are
in the
still.
spotlight, Manchester United are. So what kind of transfer rumours have you kind of been like?
With Man United, we've got quite a few though, but the main four I have seen are Donny van de Beek from Ajax, Tolisso from Bayern, Jadon Sancho, and that Jude Bellingham. They're the four I've seen from Man United.
So Jadon Sancho, obviously he's like
Most
hot
important.
topic he is right now for everybody. Obviously being in the Bundesliga at 20, you don't ever see a young English player go that
Yeah.
far anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been obviously firing there. His stats are unbelievable.
For England as well, he's been good.
But do you believe that like a guy like Jadon Sancho is really going to be key for you? Like, or do you
The
just
thing
believe...
is, I've said it, like, we are looking to him to win us a Premier League and like the Champions League and stuff like that. And I go, they just,
that's resting your entire like...
Is it a risk
What-
worth taking?
I don't know, man. 120 million for a 20-year-old. He's a great player. He's an absolute baller. But coming to the Premier League, something different. And he has to be our right winger. We haven't had a good right winger since Ronaldo. So that is
Some
just...
big shoes to fill, obviously.
And apparently we're giving him the number 7 shirt if he does come. And that's like a legendary shirt. It's like the number 14 at Arsenal. It's got the
Is,
pressure on there.
It has been tarnished after CR7 though.
it's-
Yeah,
been-
he seems
Yeah,
right. We
like
haven't had one
the
good player
likes
since.
of
We've had
Owen,
Michael
Depay,
Owen,
Di Maria and these
Valencia.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
With the other
man.
ones, like Donny van de Beek and these
Donny
lot,
van de
like, are
Beek,
these even
I'll
necessary
be
players
honest,
for you?
I was reading like Donny van de Beek and all like Twitter and seeing what the United fans say. They go, he would be a good squad player to have because you can't win trophies if you don't have a good squad depth. You said that about Liverpool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I agree.
You need good
Yeah.
bench players. Obviously, he wouldn't want to be in the bench, but he can easily get into the starting 11.
Who's getting over McTominay?
Yeah, of course he
McTominay's
would.
getting in.
It's Pogba, Bruno, but
But don't you feel like you
Yeah.
already have enough centre mids?
that's what I'm saying.
Like, obviously, like
We
Fred
need a
has kind of
CDM.
picked up this season as well. We
But
all
I
know
think-
that. Fred was deemed as a flop signing last season, but this season he's picked up.
it up a lot.
Yeah, like Fred's picked up. McTominay's a youngster who you lot are gonna hopefully make become a top player one day.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Pogba's your main guy. We obviously all
I'll
know
be
that.
honest,
He's still your
I've
best
never
player.
hated on Pogba. I was so happy that we didn't sell him this transfer window. I was like, we can't sell him. Because
I feel like that is a surprise though why he's chose to stay.
I think it's
Because he's
still-
he's
I think-
27 years old now.
20. I think he's turned 27 this year.
So he's 26 years old. So he's hitting the prime of his career
So
now.
I think he's like, because he's seen Bruno Fernandes the way like everyone, he's our best player by far. Everyone knows that. And on his day, he's probably one of the best midfielders in the world. But he hasn't shown that to the world yet.
It's his consistency that's been a
And
bit,
under
It's the
Mourinho,
players
you
he has around
can't.
him as well.
exactly.
Yeah, under Mourinho, you can't say, yo, the manager and him had that argument all the time. So he never even had the chance. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's always said, yo, he's my main player now. I want him and Bruno and everyone to it together. Sancho, if you bring him in, you can give another person for Pogba to hit the balls to, all that. You got Sancho, Martial, and Rashford. That's not a bad front three to have. Like, if you compare to bloody Andres Pereira, Lingard, and all these lot. That's shocking.
So obviously last season you spent 80 million on a centre back and
And
was it 50
130 million altogether.
Yeah, so 130 million on a centre back and a right back. Does your defence need improving though? Still,
I think we like left
because I
back.
still believe that your defence is a problem.
It is a problem. It's like it's nowhere near where it should be. Like in terms of like title challenging defense. Like you look at Liverpool's and the cities. Their defense is amazing,
I
but
don't know about City.
like with Laporte, they are
With
decent.
injuries this
Yeah,
season.
they've been
been
peaked
very
off with
lucky.
injuries. But it's like Luke Shaw. He does play decent sometimes. He hasn't played amazing, But everyone says about his fitness. They go, yo, he can't play a full 90 minutes properly. I don't really know that because he's barely played this season. We've had that Brandon Williams, and he's still a youngster, and he hasn't really done that well. Lindelof. Apparently, I just read Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to give Bailly a chance. Because I'll be honest, Bailly, when he's healthy, he's decent. He's not bad at all. But he's got injured too many times. He's got injured, I think, 7 times since he's been at United.
Yeah, he has.
And the only other centre-back we could get that's decent is Koulibaly from Subhan's team. And Subhan's already told me about 20 times he does not want to come to Man United. So that's looking like a dead end.
Yeah,
And
I
100
mean,
million
it's
for
crazy
him.
how Subhan's the only one in here that doesn't even support a Premiership team. He just loves his Italian clubs.
Yeah, you have to rate it. Don't know. Like, that's a surprise.
Why do you support Napoli? Like, yeah, like honestly, like obviously, like if
Quickly off the
like
topic,
I'd get
why?
it. Yeah, like okay, like if you love Italian football, I'd get it if you support AC Milan, Inter Milan,
One of
or
the big
Juventus.
Yeah.
One of the
Maradona.
big successful teams, like historic
100%
teams.
Maradona.
But Napoli is not that team. Nah, but freaking Maradona wasn't even his. Like he never seen
Yeah,
Maradona
but like,
play.
you look at legends of a club and that can influence you. Like, think about
So
it.
what was it then for you?
I watched Italian football all my life. When I properly started getting into football, let's say late or not early last decade. So let's say like 2010, 11. Napoli started playing really good football with Mertens.
Was this when Cavani was there?
Cavani was there?
Oh,
Lavezzi.
yo, Cavani
Do you
at
remember?
Napoli was
He was
a beast.
phenomenal.
Do you
yeah,
remember
he
when
was- yeah.
Chelsea faced Napoli in the round of 16 when
And
they
you-
won the Champions League?
Yeah, yeah.
Cavani Lavezzi beat Chelsea 3-1.
Oh yeah, I
Yes,
remember
yes,
that. I
yes,
remember
yes,
that.
yes.
I remember that.
Watching them
Okay.
game, I'd seen players. Rafa Benitez
But
came
usually,
in.
if like Italian team, as Fahad said, you go to Juve. What made you go to Napoli? Because Juve played good football.
Was
as
it
well.
only the players, or was it just you loved watching them
I,
play?
I love watching them play. I love the players as well.
Okay,
I
fair
really-
enough. Fair
I
enough.
like Hamsik.
You didn't glory hunt.
Who's your favourite current player right now?
Has to be Mertens.
Mertens.
Has to be
Dries
Mertens.
Mertens.
Dries
He's
Mertens.
literally carried the
He's a
team.
good
Napoli
player.
had a really poor
But
season.
you do know, yeah, that obviously the most sought-out player in your team is arguably
Is
one of the best
Koulibaly.
centre-backs in the world.
My favourite is Mertens, but the most important is Koulibaly.
Yeah.
He is, man.
Koulibaly's
Like,
been
I
injured
think-
most of the season.
When's
you
the
can
last time
tell.
he played PSG? When I think he had like Neymar
Last
and Mbappe
season.
on box.
Last season? Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, obviously with Koulibaly though, he's been linked to European teams for
Yeah,
ages.
I
Like, for
remember when he was-
season in, season out, he's always.
I
linked
remember
to
when
a
he got
team.
linked with Euler. I was scared. He was linked to Liverpool. Like,
was linked
what
to a
the
lot,
hell?
He
Van
was,
Dijk
yeah,
and
yeah,
Koulibaly.
he was, yeah.
But the thing
that
is,
was exciting.
I
But
think
then
you know
again,
how old is he? 27.
It's
28?
not easy to
I
get
think he's
him.
like 29, is he now? 28, 29?
See that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, you gotta
He's
look
very
at
old.
how many good years you can
He's
get
in the
out of-
prime of his career
like,
now. But
Yeah, but save
again,
Man United were to get him. Like, he would be a good centre back for 2 to 3 seasons, and then we're back into that hunt for another
I know,
centre
but
back.
don't you believe that in them 2 to 3 seasons though, you
He'll
are
give you a lot
getting
more. Yep.
Yeah,
you are
but
getting
I
top
don't-
quality performances.
But I don't think, like, say if we were in a better situation than what we are now, then 100% I'd take him. But, like, him alone, we still are very shaky.
I
team.
don't think you can have Koulibaly and Maguire in the
I
same
don't think
team
you can as well.
you
because
can't,
they're
'cause they're
both
very similar.
They're both leaders.
They're very similar players.
If you look at like
Like,
last season,
you
when
can tell
he-
the alpha dog in your defense is Van Dijk, and he has Joe Gomez, who's an inexperienced youngster, and like that, it goes like that. But with, as you said, Harry Maguire, Koulibaly, you don't know if they'd work together.
Because the thing is with them two though is that they don't epitomize a modern day centre back. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Harry Maguire's quite old fashioned, to be honest.
yeah, like he's good on the ball.
He's very good
but
on the
he's
ball.
not
Compared
that
to Van
kind
Dijk,
of like
he's
he's not rapid. Yeah, we know that he's not a fast centre back.
He
He can't catch up to players. He's good in the air, which is very traditional
Passive
as
ball.
well.
Passive
he's very
ball.
John Terry-esque.
His passing's good,
yes.
but,
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
only
he's
problem
very
between him
similar
and
to
John,
John
Terry,
Terry.
he gets beaten too easily.
He
Like
does.
John Terry could like put up a fight with like the best skill players. Him, like someone does a
He
step over and
commits
he's
very,
sold.
yeah,
He commits a lot,
so
man.
much.
I'll be honest,
Whereas
I'm
the
happy we
difference
still
with Van
like.
Dijk is, where the difference with Van Dijk is Van Dijk never he never commits, and when he does, it can be a bit like.
Yeah.
I think the only time
what
I've seen him
saves him though
commit-
is his speed. Like
He can
when
get back.
Pepe
Yeah.
for Arsenal actually turned him and ran past him, Van Dijk managed to
Caught up,
catch
yeah.
up.
I'll be honest, you know,
Which
when
if that was Maguire, he was never catching up.
I've
to
only
Pepe.
stepped up to
I've only seen.
Traore.
I'll
Exactly.
be honest, I've only seen Van Dijk get twixt once. That was against Salzburg. Remember that? What was
That
strike?
Minamino who we
it wasn't
bought.
Minamino. It wasn't Minamino. I rewatched the game on YouTube. It wasn't Minamino.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
someone
He did
else.
put him down to one knee, didn't he? He actually put him
Yeah.
on
He
the
put
floor.
him down. I was shocked when I saw
Yeah.
that because Van Dijk.
Gabriel Jesus did it. I remember
Oh,
Serge
yeah.
Gnabry did it as well when they were playing against Holland.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
like
oh
the
yeah,
Germany
but
Holland game.
you know how
he
you're on
turned
about
him
his
and he put-
pace. Remember when Sterling tackled the ball off him? I showed you that video
When
And
he floored
just,
him.
Yeah, and he just caught up to
Oh,
him in
it's yeah.
seconds.
What was this? England, Germany.
England, no,
Yeah.
England, Netherlands.
England, Holland. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very good game. That was as
But
well.
yo,
That performance. Was
Sterling is rapid.
He is
and
very
he
good.
like had a good 5 to 6 yards on him, and he still caught up, which shocked me.
and his position is really good as well.
But
So obviously, like we got Man United's transfers who are always active. We know that. But Arsenal, obviously, Hassi being an Arsenal fan, we know that they are probably the team that's in dire need
Of a
of
good
like
transfer
an
window.
overhaul when it comes to buying players.
Key transfer signings.
When was
So
there-
what would you say? Obviously, like, we know that your biggest like asset right now is Aubameyang. He's
Yeah.
your best player. He's your talisman player. He's your top goal scorer. He's been your best player since he's come. Where else do you lot think here? Like, what's your best? Like, you as a fan, what would your ideal summer transfer be? Like your entire window, yeah. Like, what would it be?
We are heavily linked with right now Thomas Partey, who is
The Atletico Madrid player.
Is he CDM?
centre defensive midfielder.
He's a top quality player. He's played Champions League football season in, season out.
But I don't know why he
He's-
wants to go there.
Currently, obviously, he joined in 2015, and his current contract's till 2023 at Atletico Madrid.
You'll have to pay a good price for
So
that.
his current market value is at roughly 36 million.
That's sick.
That's
But-
like in this current day and age.
But
worth
I
As
reckon
always,
He's worth
if
they're gonna
it's a
up the
Premier League club
price.
that needs a
a
player,
Premier League club will charge more.
But
Yeah.
the thing is,
They will 100% charge more.
they'll at least minimum ask for 45 million.
I'll say more than that.
And that's just to start negotiations potentially. And it's a player in a position that we've needed, I think, since Patrick Vieira, basically.
Like a holding midfield, yeah, like
A
somebody that's just
CDM
gonna
that's
sit,
just gonna literally sit there in front of the back four
be
and just
good on the ball as well.
help the
Because
back
he is
four.
a very good ball playing
Yeah.
CDM.
I'll be honest.
His passing's
I
very
haven't
good.
watched Thomas Partey that much,
Nah,
but he's
like-
a sick player.
He's been very on form for Atletico Madrid this
He had a very
season.
good
in the
season,
league. Yeah,
yeah.
he has. He's
You'll
had a
see,
very
who's
good
your-
season.
Against Liverpool?
Who's your current CDM now?
We
Like,
have
Guendouzi, yeah, no
Is it
one.
Granit Xhaka and
Granit
Lucas
Xhaka
Torreira?
and Lucas Torreira.
See, Lucas Torreira is
I
one
heard
of
you-
them. He's a box to box. He's not. He's a workhorse
And
kind of
Xhaka's
midfielder.
a more of a passing midfielder.
But yo,
like a
he
deep
got.
line passing
Yeah.
midfielder.
I'm surprised. Like, you know, after his captaincy got stripped, he played so well after that.
Yeah, he has. He's picked up form, but
When
obviously.
Arteta came in, he kind of like.
Yeah, how
Where
old
else
is
do you think you lot need strengthening, or like what would be a good transfer for you lot, or like a good addition?
To be honest with you, we also linked. This is also another 50-50 signing. To be honest with you, Thiago Silva, who's a centre back.
That makes no sense.
The 33-year-old,
The
or is he 33 or
33-year-old,
34?
yeah.
Oh, I saw he's
We
old. I
linked
saw
to
he's the
him.
same age as Ronaldo, 35.
He's probably 34, 35 years
That's
old.
a shocking move
Arsenal,
for
I don't
you.
know
lot.
why they are.
Ideally, though, yeah, like is that's obviously yes, we all know that he's a highly, like he still is a good defender. We know that.
But he's not. He's not a signing.
He's not a
mate.
Premier like
He's not the Thiago
like, if he comes to
Silva
the Premier
that we-
League and he comes up against Liverpool without the help of a Marquinhos next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously, yeah, like the pace of
Salah,
the
Mané
pace of
and
French
all that
football
is
compared to the
From
pace
Premier
of
League, the
praise.
of the
praise.
Premier League.
Thank you.
The pace of the Premier League is different because it's not only Liverpool and Man City that you're coming up against. Even teams like
Adama
Wolves that have players like
Traore.
Adama Traore. Like if he'll eat up Thiago Silva for breakfast.
And he's slowed
I'll
down
be
the
honest
last
though,
few years as
well. He has.
I don't know why they signed David Luiz last season as well. He's old. He's like 32 or something like
They
that.
never bought a centre back.
Even
They had
then,
to
he
bring
was
someone in.
literally-
Yeah, but
They had to
no.
bring. I felt like David Luiz was a panic buy. I did.
It was a very panic
Yeah,
boy.
like, I felt like it. But
That's-
you've
wasn't
also
it-
signed was it William Saliba you signed last
Saliba,
season?
yeah.
But he's coming. But you sent him back on loan, so he's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
going to be here.
So obviously, as the French season's over now, so he's basically at Arsenal's training. Now he's an Arsenal
Oh
player,
yeah.
and he's deemed as one of the best young
He's
French
21.
footballers. Yeah, he's very young at the moment, 21.
That's good to have then, I guess. And
He had a very-
apparently he had a very
He's
good.
in-
Yeah,
yeah.
he did.
Now,
Yeah.
he
He's
had a
also, I
very
think,
good
an
season.
investment for the future, and he's also can be a potential main key defender for Arsenal. in the
He can
upcoming
be.
years.
Yeah,
I think he
that's
made
true.
it. I think he made the team this season in Ligue 1.
He did.
I think
Yeah,
he did.
And
Yeah.
he
at
play
that
for?
age,
Saint
Etienne.
Etienne.
But not a top side, so he's doing quite.
So that's
They're
even
not a top
better
side
then.
at
Like
all,
that's
like,
even
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
If you're playing for
And
one of
apparently he had a top performance against PSG in one game.
yeah,
as well.
Fazan
Oh.
Fazan
Yeah,
was
yeah.
telling me that he was giving
Yeah, he
Mbappe
did.
a hard time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, like apparently he did have Mbappe like on the ropes a little bit.
And if you have him, oof.
Exactly. So
But then
obviously,
again,
like
do Arsenal have the players
you're-
to support
for
him.
me, I
don't.
believe your lot's biggest like asset would be to keep Aubameyang.
How old is he now? 31. 30.
He's 30, 31 in 5 days' time.
So if you can get a possible 2 good years out of him, offer him a 2-year contract.
But will he sign?
This is the main thing now, but I want to just talk about Aubameyang's stats in the Premier League since he's been here. He's only been here for 2.5 seasons, roughly. In the 2017-18 season, he had 13 appearances, with one coming as a sub, 10 goals in 13 appearances.
That's very good.
That's very
2018 and 19 season, that was his first full season, 36 appearances, 6 coming as a substitute, with 22 goals, joint Golden Boot winner with, of course, as you know, Salah and Mane. Fahad, you should know that, definitely.
They will
And
have
the
to
current-
share it in the last
The
day,
current
that's mad.
season, he's on 26 appearances with 17 goals, current season.
He's a
Just
bad
few
boy.
behind
He
Vardy.
probably is the best
He's
striker.
2 behind Vardy, isn't he? I think Vardy's on 19 and Aubameyang's
To be
on
honest,
17.
I thought Vardy was gonna run away with it for a second,
He's
He,
slowed down. though,
yeah,
hasn't he?
yeah, he did look
Yeah.
like he was.
He's
But
and then he caught
with
up.
Aubameyang, obviously,
He's a
like,
sick player.
we know about him. He's a serial goal scorer. He was for Borussia Dortmund. He came to Arsenal, hit the ground running with them straight away. We know that as a goal scorer, he is one of the best in the league. Him, Aguero, Vardy,
Right.
they are up there as
Yo,
him,
who signed
Aguero,
him,
Vardy,
you see?
Salah.
Was it Wenger that signed him?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's a Wenger
In his
sign.
last season.
Was he?
In his
Yeah,
last
yeah.
I
season.
thought
yeah.
he was Emery for a second.
It was his last signing, wasn't
Oh
it?
yes, it was. Yes.
Is it
Is
It was in
Aubameyang
the, oh
was
yeah,
his
in
last signing,
January,
something.
yeah.
Yes.
Because I remember that your
So,
Pierre advert.
obviously,
on Twitter
like,
and stuff.
Do you believe that keeping him is crucial, or would you rather sell him for money now and possibly find a replacement, or do you feel like there's nobody like that in the
To be honest with
in
you,
the world right
he
now?
has a year left on his contract, so his current value stands at roughly 50 million, roughly.
So pretty much what you bought
With
him
the,
for.
yeah,
wasn't
with the
it?
year left, obviously he signed in 2017-18, 4-year contract, £200,000 per week. These are wages now as well. That's how much he's on.
Is that what his current contract is, or
Second,
what
hi-
he'd
yeah,
be on?
second highest earner behind Özil in
What's
at
Özil
our
on?
club, 350. But at the end,
Can't talk.
you can say because his contract is so high, Arsenal have basically a very big decision to make in the summer whether to sell him. But I would rather just literally give him a blank contract, let him sign, to be honest with you, because he's so important. In a total of 75 appearances in the Premier League only, he's got 59 goals and 10 assists, which is equivalent to 69 goal contributions in
That is,
75 appearances.
Considering he's never played Champions League under Arsenal, they've always been poor in the leagues since
And they've
he's
had a
arrived.
very poor side
And
as well.
yeah, like
Yeah,
he's got no
exactly.
good like thingies
Imagine
around
with him.
Imagine if he had like a Pogba.
Yeah, no,
someone around
like
him.
imagine when Alexis Sanchez arrived, they had Aubameyang at the same time.
Oh, yo,
Like so, Aubameyang hasn't
that
really.
Alexis Sanchez
like,
season.
for example, before Aubameyang, their big signing was Lacazette.
Yeah.
Lacazette hasn't really
Done
because of
anything.
injuries as well. He hasn't really hit he hasn't hit the mark that everybody expected him to.
Yeah.
His first season, we've seen signs that he could be a top player because he scored against every top 6 side in his first season.
Yeah.
For Arsenal in the
I think
league.
he did, yeah.
Scored all the big games. all the
Exactly,
Europa League
but
games.
obviously this season he's been a lot quieter because of
Nah,
injuries.
I just think in confidence issues. You know, when I see him, sometimes he makes a
But that's
mistake. He gets down.
So if you take Aubameyang out of
Aubameyang's
that
confidence
team,
high.
where do you think Arsenal would be in the league?
Aubameyang, for example, since he's come to Arsenal, he's had 4 managers: Wenger, Emery, Lundberg, and now Arteta. And
So 4
considering
different styles of play is that to adapt
4
to.
different styles of play. You've got literally different philosophies. Wenger, the olden day fashion, obviously tiki-taka passes.
It's different players in different positions
And
as well.
he's
Because
literally-
Aubameyang played on the wing at one point for you
Yeah.
lot as well.
That
didn't
made
he?
no sense.
Like he
man.
played on the wing, like almost like a left forward, and he did. But the thing is, even though it wasn't his position, he still scored.
He still scored.
He
that's the
still
thing,
scored
Yo,
all
I
the
think he's a
time.
goal
How many
scorer.
goal contributions did he have last season? Just alone. 22 goals and how many assists?
I think it's 22 goals and 5.
So 27 goal contributions. Where did you finish? 6th or 5th?
I think it was 6 last
Because
season.
you're in Europa League.
Yeah,
so
Europa League.
if them 27 goal contributions are not there, they are definitely in the bottom half of the table.
Exactly. So it shows that he's a crucial player for the team.
It's very
Where
important.
else do you think you need strengthening though? Because Arsenal's squad,
It's very poor.
you do have good players around the team. Yeah, like you do, but the problem is that
They're not linked.
there's
well.
some that just don't gel with each other
I do believe that we need another centre back.
I
Definitely.
think. Oof.
to partner who.
with Saliba, if
Wait,
he's going to be
Saliba,
migrated into
okay.
the team, I would suggest that.
Don't you feel like you got a lot already though? Like you've got
Yeah,
Socrates,
Bob,
Yeah.
you've got Mustafi, you've now got Saliba, and you've also got Rob Holding.
you need to
And
clear the
David
way.
That's 4, and that's 5 centre backs.
They need to clear the
They've
wage
tried
bill.
every partnership so
and
far, and it's
like
literally
nothing's worked.
nothing stood like very
I
firm.
think the best one was
Nothing stood very firm.
yeah, I think the best one was bloody Mustafi and Socrates. Because I remember watching Arsenal games. I
They
think
did do good before Mustafi got injured.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's about consistency. Like when Joe Gomez got injured and he come back and he got straight into the side for us, he still hit the ground running again. But that is what happens when you have a world class centre back next to you.
yeah.
Nah,
But
like,
who would you even get? Like who's a world class centre back
For
like,
these lot?
for Arsenal to buy?
This type of thing,
Okay,
I wouldn't
I'm
mind
with
going for like a Koulibaly type of player.
but
But would he ever move to Arsenal?
I'll be
who are
honest
not
with
in-
you.
See, this is the
you know
thing.
Koulibaly with Man United and Arsenal. The only way because him coming to either of us is if we give him the biggest wage bill ever.
Like if he gets like a lump sum contract.
Unless we get Champions League. If we can get Champions League, then he will come a bit more easier. He won't ask for like, give me 350k a week, something like that. But like, say if you came to Arsenal and you go, yo, if Özil's on 350, I want to be on like 370.
But Koulibaly
380.
seems to be out of the question because
Never know.
Like,
Champions League football.
exactly, yeah. Like
Yeah,
you lot
he
aren't
needs-
in no.
he needs Champions
I don't
League.
think. I personally don't believe you lot will get top 4 this. Like you're sitting ninth, but the gap isn't that far. It's not.
They need a lot
But
of
you
other
lot
teams
need to
drop
win
points.
a good run of games
But
to actually.
if
You need a
City-
few results to go away
But
as well.
if you can't get Koulibaly, where else would you even look?
I'd look in the Bundesliga for these. Some look like Upamecano. He'd be good for them.
Upamecano
Also
Upamecano,
linked
you
in-
lot have been linked to
yeah, we're
Upamecano.
linked to him as well. To be
He's
honest with you.
the RB Leipzig one,
Yeah.
RB
and
Leipzig,
he's
centre-back.
only 21, isn't
Very
he?
young. He's very young.
But
And
see-
I remember his Champions League performance against Spurs, where they
Yeah,
beat them
yeah,
3-0. He played phenomenally.
But
he
yo,
did.
you know what you just said? Like his age, you got two 21-year-olds and your two main centre backs. That's very dangerous.
So do you believe that you need an established centre back first to
With-
go with the youngster?
Of course, this Saliba that we have now.
He's 21.
If he's migrating into the first team properly, I would definitely keep him and develop his game basically.
yeah,
Who would
100%.
you have? Because obviously
Next
we know
to him is also a big key. If you want to keep one of Socrates, David Luiz, Rob Holding, to be honest with you, I think it's a decent player.
he is.
Yeah.
He is.
He's had very good
He is,
Yeah,
but
like
he had
before
that-
his injury, he had a very
What
good.
was it, ACL or something like that? Very
Yeah,
big
he had a
injury.
very
Yeah, he was
bad
out for a
injury.
year and a half.
Like I think it was underneath the Emery time when they were playing some decent football, 3 at the back as well. Him, Socrates, Mustafi. So it is about really looking for Upamecano. He's also a very good boy that can also be worked on because these young players they might actually prove to
Yeah,
be
like it's a
prove to be
risk.
good players.
It's a risk that could be taken. But
Yeah.
because getting a young player is always a risk.
But it can also be good value for money though.
Very
In
very.
the
You
long
don't
run.
necessarily always have to buy top stars.
Nah, yeah, you could just
You could buy
can
like
make 'em. You can make
exactly,
the
yeah, like
stars.
you know,
Like
for
Guendouzi,
example.
for
Yes.
example.
Yeah, that's a very good
No, but not
example.
even just
Yeah, you
youngsters, yeah. Like you could buy like a 25, 26-year-old who's not playing
even
for a
known.
major team.
Yeah, he's not known.
And they can be like they can end up hit the ground running for you.
Okay,
lot.
let's be honest. Van Dijk was not known before Liverpool. No one
He
knew Van
wasn't.
Dijk.
I mean, Prem teams knew of Van Dijk
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a top
Southampton.
centre back,
But-
Yeah, yeah.
playing for a team that just isn't good enough for him.
Yeah.
Everybody said
Yeah,
that.
like I'll be honest.
But nobody had in their head that you know what
He's
he's
gonna
gonna
be that
come. He's gonna flip Liverpool's defense on its head.
Bro,
And that's
he's
exactly what he did.
he's arguably the best player in the world, and no one expected that from a Southampton
it's
player.
True. It's true.
I was
Like, he's-
shocked.
Like he comes in first full because he came in January
Yeah,
as well.
he
I
did.
remember.
He did.
But in his first full season, we won the Champions League with him.
And you got
Yeah.
to the
Back.
you got to final with him in the half
Exactly,
But I
season.
think that's
Yeah,
what
like
you need to
in
do.
the
You
half
need
se-
to take that risk and go for them big players. Pay the big money.
To be honest, it's what's
to-
like if you look at transfers and you look at
Where else do you feel like you need strengthening though?
Well, it just depends now. If, for example, Aubameyang does leave or Lacazette, we'll have to be
I don't
in
think
the
Lacazette
market.
would leave.
We'll have to be in the market definitely for another striker.
But let's say Aubameyang stays. Do you believe that you need better players around him now?
I think they need a
Because
better
you lot
cam.
need to get top 4.
They
Yeah.
do,
So
man.
what kind of so where do you think you need strengthening to be able to get back into that Champions League caliber team?
It just depends which style he wants to play now, to be honest with you, because there's
Yeah.
quite a few styles. Does he want to go with 2 up top? Does he want to go with wingers? Like we have Martinelli,
Wingers, obviously, I think wingers
think
would
you
suit
have
you
to, 'cause
because
you
you
got
got Pepe
Pepe,
as well. You
yeah.
spent 70 million on
Pepe,
Pepe.
Martinelli's there.
So you can't play him cam.
Yeah,
Is
Or
Martinelli
anything-
starting in your team? What would your ideal front three be?
I think potentially, or Lacazette may have to drop out from this one because of his form.
Yeah.
His form this season, based on that, his front three would be Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Pepe. to be
Are
honest
you
with
lot linked to Thomas Lemar again?
No.
No.
I
No,
haven't seen anything
because
on
I
him.
remember they were
He'd
linked
be
to
a
him
good
last
buy.
season, but
Last season
the
we were.
buyout was massive.
you know
It was
what's-
like 90 million.
But do you know
Yeah.
what I think they need? Or obviously, I'm not a Steve, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I think they need a creative midfielder because Özil, he's lost it now. He's not the Özil that they bought.
So Saban, I just thought I'd bring you into this now. Obviously, because you support Napoli, so you probably know about a lot of European sides. Obviously, yeah, like just shortly, yeah, like if you just say like what kind of like obviously because we know we got the Bayerns and the PSGs and the Madrids and Barcelona. What kind of like signings are they even looking at the moment?
To be fair, if you do have a look at the clubs, they do have a lot of players, but it's a squad depth that they don't have. Other than Bayern, Barca don't really have the squad depth.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Juventus
don't.
have squad depth, but it's the
They-
quality
I
of the
think they
players.
have too many players in a way.
'Cause you probably heard about the Pjanic and
I didn't hear about
Yes.
Arthur
Pjanic.
deal.
Yes.
Didn't hear
Centre
about
half.
that.
Because Sarri, obviously, he has that register player, which is like the guy that passes around in
Yeah.
the midfield.
So he wants to get rid of Pjanic.
Jorginho at Napoli. Jorginho at Chelsea.
Oh yeah, he bought Jorginho.
He did, because it's basically his whole team's built around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very good passer of
He's
the
gone
ball.
to
Jorginho.
Juventus.
Yeah.
You can't just bring Jorginho again. Try the players you have.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't leave
Pjanic
Chelsea.
just hasn't done it for him. He's just not, suited his style of play. So he kind of wants to get rid of him. Maybe bring Jorginho in.
But
They're kind of doing like a swap deal.
did
with,
you read that thing about Juve? that they're like the first team to introduce the wage bill. Like they're trying to cut it.
Yeah.
It's what like a
They're
lot
trying
of
to cut it up.
American sports do. They try to cut the wage bill, getting rid of people.
Yeah.
I read that a couple of days ago. I was quite shocked because they have a quite high wage bill if you think
They do,
about
'cause
it.
Ramsey moved there. He's on like 300 grand a week. Barely
But
plays.
like, obviously, like we know, yeah, that they don't really do that much. Yeah,
What
when
do
it
you
comes
mean?
to transfers, that
They
they don't
don't.
spend a
Yeah,
lot.
they don't. They
They
either
also-
get them for free or they get them youngsters.
They get him young, but then it's the wages they give it to him. Like
Wages,
Ramsey
yeah.
wouldn't come just for like on the
Yeah,
same
300
wages
grand a
as
week.
at
On a
Arsenal.
free contract when he should
Has
be
he,
at least
he
worth
has, has he
20,
been
30
playing though this
He's
season?
been injured.
Ooh.
That's why. They haven't got Matuidi. He's been injured as well. Rabiot
Matuidi's
doesn't
quite
play.
old though now. He's like 30,
31, I think.
I think he's older than that, isn't
He
he?
might be. He might. He's very old.
What's
though.
Ronaldo on there?
I'm not
He's
sure.
obviously going to be on the most.
That's
He
what I'm
is.
trying to say. But
But
like,
he's
yo,
like- he
they
sells
are
the
offering
shirts, he
these
does
high
everything.
wage bills, man. It's peak.
Easily minimum Ronaldo 400, 500k a
Yeah,
week.
he
there.
He has to be.
I think
though,
Messi's
like-
got the most. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely on about 400.
So lads,
Yo.
we're kind of coming up to the end of the first half. Kind of went quick, that did.
I
obviously
know, man.
talking about the big- But for those that are watching, we'll see you shortly after the break. Yeah, if you just stay tuned, yeah, we got another good topic coming up.
Yo, customer, that was. We made money back off them, but that don't mean nothing.
But the thing is, though, yeah, like you can't even bring up managers because you had Louis Van Gaal, who's a Champions League winner,
and he took
managed
Netherlands to the World
exactly.
Cup semis.
I think it was the semi-finals, yeah.
And that was
he took them there.
Got him third place.
Yeah, he's right, did.
Yeah.
Then after that,
Jose,
exactly,
arguably one of the greatest managers of all time.
exactly, yeah, like Jose Mourinho got you second in a very average, let's say.
You know when he
like
said that is his biggest achievement, and we were all laughing at him, and then you look back at that team, you're like, yo, that is a surprise. Jesse Lingard, Bailly, Lindelof as just 2 starting centre backs. That is like shocking. But I'll give you a main reason. We haven't got rid of old managers' things. So we still got David Moyes as scouts at our club. We have so many scouts. We have Van Gaal scouts. We have David Moyes. We have Jose's, and you're supposed to get rid of him because you can't just keep hiring and leave him there. Because then they're gonna keep looking for a David Moyes player. They're gonna look for a Van Gaal player. They're gonna look for other player for Mourinho, and it's all that contrast. You can't build a good team.
So obviously with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, he's not an experienced manager. Let's be real. He managed Cardiff and he got relegated with them.
Yes, he did. That's why he got sacked.
What's he gonna do that Mourinho couldn't do?
I think one thing he has done. Obviously, he hasn't done anything for us in terms of the game, but he has done something for the players of the club. They respect him, especially like Rashfords and these who have grown up as Man United players. So they all, and he's a player. So he like. Mourinho wasn't a good player. He was a decent player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was, so he knows how players feel and stuff like that. But towards the latter stage of that season, the end of the season, he was getting more angry with players because everyone goes, "Yo, he's too nice as a manager. He's too this." And then I remember the Manchester derby, the one at the Old Trafford. Jesse Lingard was playing and he made about 6-7 mistakes, and he goes, "Jesse," he swore at him, "You're coming off." And I was like, "Yo, that surprised me." Because I didn't think... I wanted Pochettino, I'll be honest with you. I wanted an experienced manager because he took a disgusting Tottenham team to the final of the Champions League. And then you got to look at that. But my main reason for Man United failing is Ed Woodward. That is my main reasoning.
So your director of football is where you believe it's gone all wrong?
Like, you're supposed to...
Because you do sign more names than you do like key
talent.
players. Like if...
Apparently, Louis
If
Van
you look
Gaal
at our current philosophy, we've never signed a big player.
Yeah, you actually
In this current team that Jurgen Klopp has had, we signed Mo Salah from Roma. We signed Mane and Van Dijk, both from Southampton.
I think your biggest player in
They've
terms
been
of
very
name
effective,
was
though.
Naby Keita, because he was from like Leipzig. He had that good season.
It
with
was
them.
either him or Fabinho
That's what I'm saying, I
because
think-
Fabinho won a league with Monaco. Like he was the only
not
one.
they're not
Like he
top
was actually the
players, though.
only league winner out of all the signings that he's ever done,
Yeah.
and a top 5 league winner.
Like,
Let's say.
You know, Ed Woodward, everyone cusses him.
But Fabinho was done. I think we were linked to Fabinho for 10 minutes.
We were linked to Fabinho for
Like-
like 4 seasons.
Yeah, we were linked to him for a day, and then we got him on that same day.
United have been linked with everyone though.
We actually
They
have,
have,
and
yeah,
it's,
that's
it's
true.
when I read it, I don't know if it's fake or if it's real. Because when I see Man United, I'm like, yo, they would actually go for a person like that. Like, it's pointless to go for a player like that. Like, apparently Van Gaal, which makes no sense because he signed about 6 players in his first season. He goes, I didn't want to sign. He goes, they didn't let me sign anyone I wanted. I was like, what? You signed Depay, you signed Darmian, you signed Bailly, you signed Rojo, you signed all these people, and you said you didn't want him. So what? Who did he want? And that's Mourinho said he wanted a centre back, and they said no to him. Who's saying no to him? Ed Woodward. Because Ed Woodward was looking at, yo, I want a brand. I want someone who's gonna make me money. You're not looking at, yo, that centre back, because he needed a centre back and he needed a midfielder. He said that to Ed Woodward.
It's Mourinho.
Yeah, Mourinho. Because in our last season, well, in his second to last season with us, we were playing decent football, but he just didn't have anyone good in our defence. De Gea was on impeccable form, which he ain't on now. So you can't really end, but it's
Because let's deep it, yeah. Like you lot have spent almost 200 million on your defence alone.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw,
was 30 million, Lindelof 30 million, so that's 60, 130, yeah, 190.
there you go.
Roughly 200 million.
We've spent 80 on our entire back four. Now I'm not.
I'll be honest, you know, when it comes to transfers, I think it's a look as well, man. Like the look of Van Dijk being what he is, the look of like
But do you think that's more luck or do you think that's more man management?
man
Management
management as
is
well.
also key
But-
as well.
Because
I think it's a
at
bit
the end of the
both,
day, yeah, like you're talking about 2 players, for example, Van Dijk. So let's bring up the fullbacks that we've got. They're arguably 2 of the best fullbacks in the world right now in Robertson and Trent.
Yep.
They've got no competition in our team. Like, for example, if Trent Alexander-Arnold has 5 bad games,
no one's gonna come and take him over.
exactly, yeah, like he's still gonna get into the team, yeah, like he's not gonna get dropped because you were gonna put in Nathaniel Klein.
I'll be
doesn't
honest,
even start.
Wan-Bissaka,
Like, he doesn't play.
Wan-Bissaka start of the season wasn't good, but he's coming to his.
He's
own.
probably been your like shining light when it comes to all your
Like,
transfers.
I'll be
over
honest,
the last
against
few years.
City, because we played City 4 times this year.
You've
2
beaten them
ca-
3, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm not even caring about the wins. So how he defended against Sterling and
Yeah.
Aguero.
And Sterling's considered as one of the best players in the league.
He is, and like the way he had Sterling on lock, like Sterling could not do anything.
There is positives about your players that you
Yeah,
have,
'cause-
like Rashford, like Wan-Bissaka,
Well, I was watching this thing.
like your youngster Mason Greenwood. Yeah, like you like do have a good group.
we have
of
a
young
good
English
academy,
yeah.
but when it's not Fergie. As you said, man management. Fergie could take a load of young
I think
kids.
we got a phone call as well, you know, lads. Hang on.
Okay, they might as well answer it.
Hello. Okay, they cut off.
Say
Okay.
no more. Back to the
Obviously,
conversation.
yes.
Carry on.
Yeah.
What was I on about? I forgot. Okay, yeah.
You're on about Fergie, obviously,
Ferguson
like with the
taking
youngsters.
young kids, and he did that with the class of '92. And it's hard for managers to do that because Mourinho ain't had the best track record with the kids, but he made Rashford into what he was. Even like because he gave Rashford the most starts in the whole team. But we'll stick to the topic of why we are so bad. I'm giving you it is Ed Woodward because he has not helped any manager we've had. We've had Louis van Gaal, David Moyes, Ryan Giggs was our manager for a bit. We had 5 managers since Ferguson's left, and not one of them. 2 of them are amazing managers, and they couldn't do anything. And you're like looking at Van Gaal.
So you believe that your director of football is...
He's the main reason that United can't challenge for anything.
So Hasib, obviously we've seen what Man United is. They are a cash cow kind of team, like let's be real.
Definitely.
They will splash money where they need to. But one thing we know about them is that if they see a big player in their eye line that they want, they will do anything to get him.
They will definitely.
Arsenal aren't like that. You lot won't just splash on big players. But where do you think it's gone all wrong for you? Because obviously you had Wenger for over 20 years,
Yeah.
and a lot of his critics, like very vocal, like we all know.
Arsenal fan TV.
Exactly, yeah, like they're
definitely.
like they're also like
Toxic. They're
yeah,
very
like
toxic.
Arsenal's fan base is always split. It's always
Yeah.
split into 2, especially during Wenger's final, let's say 5 seasons at the club.
Oh,
So where do you believe it's gone all wrong for you lot?
I'd like to ask the panel a question. Since 2010-11 season, how much do you think Arsenal have roughly spent? I've got a few figures here.
160.
Altogether,
Net
100
spend or
in
as
net
in
spend.
Net spend, so players you've bought in, players you've
Yeah,
sold.
yeah, roughly.
Wait,
Overall,
not
since
play-
2010-11
Players you
season.
sold as well.
Yes.
Play-
Net
oh,
spend. Net spend. About 100
probably about
million?
100 million. Probably actually no 50, something like
About
that.
100 million.
They
I'd
have
say about.
they have let quite a few players go. They let Van
Actually, no, it's the
Persie.
transfer activity in the last 10 years. How much do you
So
think? roughly?
who you've bought?
Yes.
I'm saying about 100.
Probably about 200-300 million.
Nah, 160.
418 million
That's not bad. Like over 10 years.
in 10
that's-
years. And speaking of United, they've done double that.
Probably done more than
Man
that. probably
City
done-
have probably done
done
more than
triple
that in the
that.
last 5.
Yes, exactly. What I think Arsenal's problem has come up to is really it's since obviously leaving Highbury, the fortress that Arsenal used to have. Obviously, 2006 we left, and we promised big, achievements that are going to be done by the club. That we're going to be competing in Europe at a good level, and
Was
stuff
that your
like
last
that.
season at Highbury, 2006?
Yeah, 2006. So what now? It's been roughly it's the 14th year of that.
Yeah,
And you can
going into
say-
your 15th.
Yeah, it's going into the 15th year, and you can just say this that, for example, we've been in Champions League since 2006 all the way up until 20. Was it 20,
I think it was Sanchez
Yeah.
I
come.
think it was 2018, wasn't it?
Nah.
Or 2017.
2017 roughly?
Yeah, yeah. It was
So
that.
we've been out of Champions League now for the last 3 seasons, but it's just come down to the fact that our owner hasn't really given us the right amount of funds that was needed. So we've left a stadium. We've had a massive loan on top of our heads for a long time. Now, just a few figures here, like since 2010, 2011 now. In 2010, 2011 season, Arsenal spent 14 million.
When?
2010, 2011,
Oh,
14 million.
But-
Round it up, 15 million.
Was
15
this
million.
when Van Persie was still at the club?
Yeah.
yeah, because he
Okay.
came to us.
And your squad wasn't even that bad back then. Like,
like
you
the
lot did have a
Nasris
good
and
challenging squad.
Nazi.
Of 14
So
million.
14
14
Who was
million.
that one?
We don't really know exactly
Well,
what
Oh,
player-
was that like a total of
That was
14
a
million?
total of that season, yeah.
No, but back
That's-
then,
that's
I
a
remember.
big club.
I re-
2011,
yeah.
2012, we had a profit of 12.8 million.
How much did they spend?
so you spent 2 million altogether.
No, but it's like
No, they made 12 million.
we made 12 million at that time. I've
Oh,
only
okay,
got the
I
figures here,
got,
not the exact
I got a
players.
bit confused there. So 2010,
2012,
11.
2013, a profit of 9 million.
So you lot are making profits, like,
That's very small. And then, obviously, 2013-14, we had the signing of Ozil.
which was
That
your
was
biggest signing for almost a decade.
Wenger's biggest
I remember
signing.
that probably made you, that probably rejuvenated your fans. Like you lot were like,
It was transfer deadline day as well.
yeah,
I
like it was a
remember watching
deadline day
that.
transfer, and I remember
A lot of
Arsenal
shirt
fans were
sales.
like, okay, this is it now.
Yeah.
We've got Ozil,
He
which
did
means
stop-
that we're gonna get bigger
I
and
swear you
better.
signed Podolski and Giroud in the same season as well because Van Persie left. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah. We had-
so
we
you
had-
Had a very good
Podolski,
squad that
Giroud, and
season.
Cazorla. So
Very good
that's the
squad.
first
Wasn't
time.
that the season where you won your first trophy after 10 years as
yeah,
well?
FA
Yes.
Cup.
So obviously, I think obviously you being a fan, seeing the signing of Özil, seeing a top 4 place again, but also seeing a trophy come in, that must have kind of like in your head, you must have been like, you know what,
Yeah.
this could be the start of something where Arsenal could go back into the big time again. We could start challenging for the Champions League. We could start challenging for the Premier League again.
Yeah.
But from then, it kind of just faded again, didn't
Since
it?
then, we've had only signings of Alexis Sanchez, 35 million.
Which was amazing.
Who ended up being like
A very
one
good
of-
signing.
Probably the best player.
Yet, of
easily,
course,
100%.
his contract situation really
You should have kept him. In
was
my
very bad
opinion.
for us.
But wasn't it also because of just the fact that the
wasn't-
ambition? Like, would you say that's a big problem for the team as well?
It's definitely a big
It's
part.
like what
I
Like
think.
how your club
Imagine-
is happy with fourth, like how your
Remember-
owners, how your board are just happy with fourth place.
That's the thing. The
It's-
mentality.
Yeah, remember
at
what
the
you
club-
said when we had the chat the other day about Van Persie scoring 30 and getting nothing but the golden boot. Then he came to United, won the Prem the next
Yeah,
season.
exactly. So it kind
That's-
of So
I think that links to the Aubameyang
'Cause
situation.
the
as
trophy
well.
situation at Arsenal is obviously quite a
Very
big thing
bad.
as to the reason why we're not attracting so many big players. But like for example, now since after Alexis Sanchez, we signed Lacazette 50 million.
Good, that's
Season after Aubameyang
30 something, wasn't it?
57 million,
50. Ooh,
Yeah,
I was
57.
well off, I was well off.
and then of course now Nicolas Pepe for 70 million.
So you have spent a lot. So
The
the
past
club
couple of
is
seasons.
yeah. So the owners are putting money out there now.
That Nicolas Pepe signing was a shocking one for me. I did
Yeah.
not expect
You
Arsenal.
rejected Napoli for
I did not expect
Oh, yes,
Arsenal
you
to
are. Rejecting
spend
Napoli.
72 million. Because I swear, all on Twitter,
But
the fans were like, we've got no
you know
money.
what it is? Like you do have to obviously like we know about European clubs. They know that when a Prem team comes knocking, they know that they can boost the price because it's a Prem team.
At least by 10,
Especially
20
if it's one of
million.
the top 6.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially, it's for the player as well. Like Nicolas Pepe.
Arsenal were in
Arsenal-
need of a right wing because Walcott had left. Iwobi wasn't cutting it.
They sold
They
Iwobi,
needed
actually.
it
They
exactly. No, but they sold
Sold, yo,
Iwobi.
you sold him
That's-
for 40 million as well,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was
Got
good.
good
Isn't
deal.
that like your record
like sale?
sale? Like
Has
him
to
and
be.
Ox.
Yeah, him and
Was it
Ox,
Oxlade
yeah.
Chamberlain and him for both 40 million?
Since Overmars.
What?
Seriously?
Since
How should-
Overmars.
Since Mark Overmars.
And his was like roughly that much as well, 38, 40 million.
So don't you think that's a problem too?
That is
Where
definitely
you
a
lot
problem.
have players that you just can't sell. For example, us, we bought Coutinho for 13 million from Inter Milan.
Sold him for
We sold
150.
him to Barcelona for 150 million.
But-
Same with Luis Suarez. We sold him for 60, bought him for 20.
can I-
Fernando Torres bought for 20, sold for 50.
You know that one there, what you just said about them selling players. But if you look at their history, Van Persie, they sold him to arrive for 20 million. They sold Henri. I think Henri went for free, didn't he, to Barca? something
Yeah,
He
like
went
that.
for about
26.
15 million or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Something
And
like
Henri was in the prime of his career then. And Nasri, that's why he went free to Man City. So did
Contract
Clichy.
situations.
That's what I'm
literally-
saying. They don't sort out their contract situations good enough.
So
This
what
is
do you
where-
think is like the fundamental problem for
First,
Arsenal?
of course, it's the owner.
Yeah, Stan
He's too
Kroenke's
busy
horrible.
with
America.
his American side of the things.
He
Your
owns-
American football team, LA Rams.
He owns like 5 American franchises, like sports he owns. 1 NFL.
So how is he going to even focus on
This
Arsenal?
this for him is like a business basically.
It makes
It
him
is
money for the
because
other
that
stuff.
funds like
He
you know
would,
his. I'll be honest, 'cause I watch NFL. Just take it off. He's that their new stadium. It was supposed to be built this season, but because they've added so much stuff, it hasn't. He just keeps spending money over there, over
So
there.
he spends money there, and the focus on Arsenal is kind of just.
That's why they want him to sell the club.
So do you believe that the main fundamental problem is the owner?
100%.
Yes, definitely.
I
Where else
agree.
do you think it is though?
I think
Because
it's
your
the same.
players, they just don't seem like.
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Like I don't
don't
see
have
no
the-
like
they don't have the
exactly.
fight
Yeah,
in
like, you know
them.
the passion to want to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't see that in a lot. Like you see it in a few here and there, but you don't see it in
I
a
think
lot.
It's
you
like
I think you've seen one or
it's
two
like the
players.
identity of the club has
It's
lost
gone,
its path.
yeah, you've lost it.
From the obviously Arsenal of old, they used to always challenge United. The Wenger and Fergie era was very strong
Very, very
for both
strong.
teams.
Very strong.
and was literally only, looked at as the main two teams in England at the time.
I think, especially if you look at your Invincibles team and how every player on that team played for the badge.
Yeah,
Not one. Like I think Aubameyang plays a lot. He shows his heart. Probably Bellerin and
There's a few
that's
selective-
about
there's
it.
a few
And
selective-
Martinelli, they're the three players that go, yo, they play for the
There's a
badge,
few selective players that actually do. But
which is very bad. You gotta have
One thing I
choice.
will say, Farhad touched upon it. It's the ambition. I do think
Yeah.
that if
You
you're
have
pl-
to have ambition.
like
you have to.
like Sanchez, his kind of situation, I think with him it was that he was playing his socks out every single game.
He was,
for a
man.
good
He was
2 years,
amazing.
and he wasn't gaining nothing from it. He
I
was
like-
just getting not even golden boot, not even assist, wouldn't get anything. He
That you
just
know that season
get
when
fit.
Leicester won the league, he
that was
was
the chance.
on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
That was Arsenal's chance, and then
They should have won the league. We
Got
talked
a
about
question, lads, on WhatsApp.
this. Go on.
The question is, it's actually quite a good question, to be fair. If you had the choice to remove one player from your team and replace them with someone in the Premier League, who would it be?
Ooh, okay.
Like yeah, it could be like a rival
I don't think
team.
I
I'm
don't think
guessing.
you're in this year. Cause you're you. Yeah, because you ain't gonna sell anyone, are you? From your starting
Nah,
11.
not really.
I don't mind. I
see-
don't mind starting with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
now let me
Go
go
on then.
first. Now I want to go for this one. I'd sell
One player. just
Daniel
one.
James bringing Salah.
Okay.
I would. Top goal scorer, and we need a right wing. He'd be
Would
perfect.
sell most definitely. Actually, no. I'm gonna give you.
You would have a list. I
No,
think
no,
you
no, no.
would.
I'm gonna give you buy one get three free. Yeah. I'm gonna give you Socrates, Mustafi, and David Luiz for Van Dijk. Just give me.
Yo, that's a
give
bad
us-
boy question.
Give
that
us
is.
Van Dijk.
So obviously,
Okay,
like,
no, hold on. Let's that's top 6. Yeah, we
you know
both,
what?
we both,
I don't think
we
I
both
don't
took our
think-
players from Liverpool.
Me being a Liverpool fan, I don't think I'd take. You could put all your
The
defense
only-
in one line. I'd
Siobhan,
never give a Van
Siobhan,
Dijk.
what do
The
you
only
think, mate?
player you would take is
Like,
De
what
Bruyne.
would you take? Okay, you being a Napoli fan,
Yeah, you.
which Premier League player would you take?
No. Do it
Like,
from
if you had the choice to,
Man,
for
instead of
example,
that, do it from Man United and Arsenal's point of view. If you're a Man United and Arsenal fan,
do it from
that.
your point of view though.
as a Napoli fan,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as a because obviously you're not a big club. Yeah, like
it's a bit harsh to say.
no, but obviously, yeah, like, Napoli
Reality.
don't have the money that we
Reality
have.
is
Yeah,
hitting.
yeah, like, they don't have the money that
That's
Juve
fine, yeah.
have. Yeah, like all these other teams. You being a Napoli fan, any position in the league, which player would you take?
I do think a striker's needed. Mertens is old. He's a good player, but
Who's your right wing? Lozano, yeah.
Callahan and Lozano's had a poor season
Take
as well.
Salah, man.
So who would you take in the Prem?
I think
Striker.
Mane would be good for you. Like, you
Th-
know,
There's only
Mane
one
would-
striker to take. To be honest with you.
If you need a striker to get in behind,
Yeah, Aubameyang.
There is only one. If you
Mate.
deep,
I think he does have to be a
it
Aubameyang.
probably would be Aubameyang. Okay, we got another question.
Say no
Flying in today.
Which league, in your opinion, out of all of them, do you see is the hardest?
Premier League.
No,
I don't think it is.
no.
What do you mean?
The hardest is the
Hardest-
most competitive.
Is that all?
Oh,
It's hard.
The
This-
hardest, yeah.
This season does not show the Premier League being
Neither.
competitive.
No,
But
okay,
if you-
okay. Only last season did.
hardest to play.
Okay, wait.
The
Hardest to
couple-
play or the hardest to win something?
Oh,
I don't
I'm
really
guessing
get
it's
it.
the hardest in general,
In
like
general,
as a
yeah, yeah,
whole.
yeah, as a whole.
Well, I can definitely take off League One. That's dead.
I think it's out of Bundesliga and Syria.
Bundesliga. Bayern always take that.
See, same as
It's
City.
to play and win.
I
Yeah, like
think-
which league is the hardest to play in? That I'd have to say the Prem.
Yeah.
To play in it is the Premier League.
And
it
then
has to be.
But it's
At
not-
the end of the day, yeah.
Hello, the hardest
we
to
can
win is
never
not
go.
Syria.
We can never go. Yeah,
If you're not Juventus,
That's what I'm saying. If you're not Juventus, but Juventus are
The
always
hardest
winning.
is
He-
definitely the Premier League, though.
it is. No, like it is the hardest to play in.
what we said outside there.
Subhan, whether you
Okay,
like it or
okay,
not,
no.
mate. it
No,
is-
no.
I was
You know
thinking
why?
more-
For
Because
example,
for us, for example, we would never ever go to the Molineux knowing we got an away game against Wolves and have Salah and Mane on the bench
yeah,
just because they're not in the top. We can't do
you
that.
have to prepare.
You have to play your best
Not
teams.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
You like, I'll be honest with you. You know, especially you could be any team. Like, yo, you can lose to any team in the Premier League.
Like
Any
Napoli,
team.
for example, can go away to Crystal Palace on a Monday night, and it will be
Be
a very
wet
hard
and
game.
windy, and you'd get battered.
And it'll
Maybe.
be a very, very hard
That's
game,
true.
for example.
But then
Like-
Napoli went to the best.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
League
talking.
team and-
Bro, if you go
Yeah.
on that, Man United have been a lot of top 6 teams, but it's the lower league, the lower table teams that mess people up. Wolves, they beat City twice this year. Sheffield United have
Oh,
been
phone
sick.
call as well, lads.
Phone call, lads.
I think it's Ahmad, you know.
Hello.
Hello, I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, man. Hello, what's your question?
My question is this, is that who do you think in all the leagues, in any league, who's the most overrated and underrated player?
In each league, or if we had to pick one,
Overall,
It's up to you.
let's do the
Who
Premier
do you
League for
want?
now. Let's do Premier League.
who's the most overrated and underrated player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
one for
then
me.
that's gonna be very hard. I can't lie. Overrated.
So, yeah, they're Premier
I'd say
League,
Edison for me.
You think Edison's
We
the
had
most
this chat on
overrated?
Instagram. I'll go, yo,
I
everyone,
do believe he is.
I don't
I
think-
can't lie, I
Yeah.
do.
Saban, you
Only
you're a
because
goalkeeper, yeah, you play in goal. When you see Edison, yeah, the mistakes he makes and the high praise he gets, he's not that good.
I'll be
he
honest,
makes a lot of mistakes, you know, for a
he
goalkeeper.
does, but
He does.
He does, but then with Edison, I don't think he's there for his shot stopping. I think
But-
if you do watch,
But
him,
he's a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
a
great
goalkeeper.
passer though.
he is.
He's a
but
great
then
passer, but bro, be a midfielder then. Why you being a
Guardiola-
goalkeeper?
Guardiola's in the team for that, so I think
Okay,
he's
yo,
brought him- he's
let's
brought him in.
okay then. Let's go to underrated then. Who's your overrated quickly?
Overrated.
Mine's Edison. I don't.
I think it's Ozil as well.
So I would
But
say
now
Edison-
with
I
Ozil,
have to. No,
I
I
don't
have
think
to.
I don't think he's rated anymore.
Nah, he is.
Oh, you?
Arsenal fans think
What is he?
Ozil still has a
Okay,
lot to
then.
offer. I think he's got nothing to offer.
He does offer
I
stuff.
think John Stones is
he
quite
does
overrated
offer
as
stuff,
well.
yeah. What other
the whole Man
players
City's
don't.
defense besides Laporte is.
Okay, so who you saying quickly? We'll go to
Right,
underrated.
who? Underrated.
Go overrated first. You didn't say anyone for overrated.
Pff,
Just say Ozil. Go on.
nah, don't say it. So.
Okay then. say John. Say
Nah,
John.
nah, nah. To be honest with you,
Fricassee.
nah, I can't think of what. I could think of underrated.
Go on then,
Underrated.
who do you think is underrated?
Mesut Ozil.
I'll,
Are you being serious?
I'll
He's
be
a
honest,
very
yeah.
decent player.
My underrated, I'm gonna go for Martinelli. You know,
But he's
He's
young
up and
though.
coming though,
Like
he's up and
he's
coming.
but the
young.
thing is,
He's
he
potential.
does not get the praise of
I think
Phil
underrated.
Foden and all that
I think
stuff.
underrated. Yeah.
If
Two
you say
players-
Liverpool player, I'll
two-
go
Traore,
to you.
Traore
two players
from
for me
Wolves.
come
Actually,
to mind.
Traore is underrated. I
From
agree with
Wolves,
that.
definitely.
Adama Traore is very
He's
underrated.
the next up and coming.
Go on,
good
Farhad.
right winger.
Quickly say who your underrated is, because we've got very little time left.
I'd probably have to give it to either Son or Mane.
Mane.
Underrated.
I feel like Mane's starting to get rated now.
Okay,
Nah.
yeah.
Last season,
you
no.
can't put
Mane
Last
is the best player in the
season-
league.
You cannot
last
put
season-
Mane in there.
Last
Get
season,
out of
he was,
here.
No, last season.
Yo, see,
he-
judge what Liverpool players.
Last
Get out of
season-
here.
typical Liverpool fan.
See, no, he knows
last
himself.
season, he was not as highly
Ford,
rated.
you're gonna win the league. Don't worry about it, mate.
Underrated.
Perfectly
You
fine.
can't put any Liverpool player in
gonna
underrated.
say
You can't.
James Milner.
I said Richarlison.
Yeah.
I think he's very, very good.
He has been good.
He
for
is, but he
Everton.
plays for Everton.
Would he
Plays
start?
Everton.
Would he start in Napoli?
I don't know. 'Cause it depends.
Lads, we are coming to the end of the show, though. Sadly, this
been-
would have
it's
been
gone-
great to carry
it's
on,
paid
yeah.
right
But I
in,
guess we're
baby.
gonna have to pick it up next week. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, we'll see you all again.
Peace. Yo, that was sick, bro. I knew that was.
Assalamu alaikum. You are listening to Ramadan Radio. I am your host Shireen.